Hi, my name is Austin, and have you heard of feral hogs? They're causing a bit of a problem, especially in the south where there are a lot of them. But you may be wondering, how did we get here? Hogs, aka pigs, aka swine, were first introduced into the United States in 1539 by explorers. They used hogs as a low-maintenance food source. However, some of these hogs would get left behind, leading to the establishment of the first hogs in America. And boy, were these populations pretty successful. Fast forward today, we now have hogs in 34 states. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a population of over 7 million pigs. And 2.6 million of these are in Texas. That's a lot of bacon. Among these 7 million, there are three major breeds of swine. First, we have the Eurasian wild boars, often called Russian boars or razorbacks due to the ridge that their fur develops on their back. These are the original hogs that arrived in the US. Because of this, there are few, if any, pure Russian boars left due to intermingling with other populations. They tend to have longer legs, larger heads, and larger snouts. They also have rough, bristle-like fur that can be either brown or black colored, and is often used to make paintbrushes. As mentioned earlier, Russian boars also have manes that run down their back, which can be raised whenever they're angered, much like a cat. The second breed of hog here in the US are wild domestic hogs. These are domesticated hogs that have escaped or been released into the wild. The domestic characteristics of these hogs tend to disappear gradually as they survive and propagate in the wild. These hogs can have brown, black, white, red, spotted, or even belted patterns, with belted being what's basically a stripe that goes around the shoulders and chest area of the hog. Finally, we have hybrids, which are simply put just some kind of mix between these feral domesticated hogs and wild Russian boars. All feral hogs are very lean and muscular as compared to their domesticated counterparts. Males, also known as boars, weigh an average of 130 pounds, while females, called sows, weigh an average of 110 pounds. However, don't let these averages fool you, as it's not uncommon for them to get over 200 pounds. For comparison, this is the size of about a 250-pound one. There have even been reports of hogs that are over 400 pounds. The boars have large tusks. Said tusks actually grow continuously throughout their lifetime. Their lower tusks are also incredibly sharp. This is thanks to their upper tusk, which are also sometimes called whitters or grinders. They use the upper tusk to basically sharpen their lower tusk, much like a whetstone. Boars will often use these tusks to fight other boars for dominance or kill livestock when given the opportunity. In fact, the boars fight so much that they actually form something called a shield. This is an area of tough skin, cartilage, and scar tissue that forms on their shoulder blade. Said area can grow up to 2 inches thick. That's pretty impressive. As for their diet, hogs are what is known as opportunistic omnivores. This means that they will eat almost anything and everything that they can find, and this includes young livestock. Their most popular method of foraging is a process known as rooting. They do this by using their slightly curved snouts sort of as a shovel to overturn soil in search of tubers, roots, or even burrowing animals. And it's thanks to this wide, slightly curved snout that hogs can overturn 4.5 square feet of soil in a minute. That's literally the same amount of dirt that a bulldozer can move in 1 minute. This large-scale disturbance of topsoil not only destroys crops but increases erosion, allows for the establishment of invasive plant species, and also disrupts the process of nutrient cycling in the soil, which, by the way, is pretty important for growing food. Due to this, a single hog can cause at least $1,000 in damages to agriculture in a single night. This equates to feral hogs costing the US about $2.1 billion per year today. Worse still, dominant boars as well as sows caring for their young are highly territorial. Because of this, it is not unheard of for them to charge humans. As we can see from this footage, it was filmed by a hunter. He is just shot 2 hogs, but oh, what's this? The second hog gets back up, is now running away. Oh, the hog turns. He is running towards the hunter, 100 yards away. Oh, Lord, he coming. Thankfully, it's incredibly rare for these attacks to result in the death of a person. However, unfortunately, there still have been a few deaths recorded. One such death happened just in 2019 when a 59-year-old caretaker named Kristen Rollins arrived at the house of one of her clients. However, during the short trip from her parked car to the front door of her client's house, she was apparently attacked by hogs. Miss Rollins fought back, however, her efforts were in vain. Her body was discovered just a few feet away from the front door of the residence. The cause of death was ruled as exsanguination by feral hog assault, which exsanguination means being drained of blood. Yeah, not a fun way to go. Investigators were able to determine that there were multiple feral hogs involved, but they were unable to determine exactly how many. Miss Rollins' death is one of only 5 documented deaths due to feral hogs in the United States. After hearing all this, you may be wondering, why don't we just get rid of them? They're just pigs, right? Can't be that hard. Well, now you see, the thing is that it is kind of that hard. Hogs are incredibly intelligent, and thus, this makes them really hard to control. In one study, researchers trained pigs to basically play a video game. In this game, they would need to use a joystick to move a cursor, which starts in the middle of the screen, to a blue zone, which can appear at any of the corners of the screen. The only catch is that the pig has to move the cursor into the blue zone in one continuous movement. That means that the pig can't just fiddle around with the joystick until something works. The result? Out of 50 rounds of the game, one pig was able to hit the zone 76% of the time. That's pretty impressive. In the wild, this intelligence translates over to them being incredibly adaptive. It is not uncommon for hogs to learn how to avoid or even escape traps. Hogs can even switch between being more nocturnal, which means active at night, or diurnal, which means being active at day. This allows them to not only compensate for their lack of sweat glands whenever it's incredibly hot outside, but also to avoid hunters who may be hunting during the day, since it's kind of hard to see at night. Populations of feral hogs that are heavily hunted during the day shift to being nocturnal. This forces hunters to pack up and go home unless if they have specialized gear. Some dedicated hog hunters have countered this trend by investing in night vision and thermal imaging. However, populations that are heavily hunted by these means at night will simply switch back to being diurnal. Another factor that makes hogs very hard to control is their high reproductive rate. If you think this is a little piggy, think again. Males reach reproductive maturity at only 5 months of age, while females can reach reproductive maturity at only 3 months. Additionally, females can breed year-round and have multiple estrus cycles annually. Female hogs also have a 115-day gestation period. This is as opposed to the 280-day or 9-month gestation period that people have. All of these factors culminate in hogs being able to double their population every 4 months as long as they have enough to eat. This makes removal of these pests incredibly difficult. This also means that even if you don't currently have hogs where you live, you may start seeing them soon, as they are spreading at an alarming rate. Now, you're probably wondering, how do we fix this? One word: hunting. You see, a lot of landowners in Texas have figured out, hey, why remove these pests myself when I could have them removed not only for free, but get paid for allowing someone else to remove them? Now that's some big brain thinking right there. In fact, this was such big brain thinking that landowners in Texas have managed to turn pest removal into a tourism industry. Hunters from around the country and even from around the globe travel there to hunt, and they are willing to pay good money. One hunting ranch called Dos Plumas Ranch charges $480 for 2 days of hunting on their 625 acres of land. and this is only for up to 2 hogs. If the hunter wants to take more than 2 hogs, there's an additional charge of $150 each for each additional hog. Now that's some good money. However, conventional hunting can only slow the spread of hogs so much. But worry not, for one company in Texas called Helibacon has got our backs. Helibacon takes hunters on helicopter rides where they can shoot at droves of feral hogs who are rooting in wide open farmlands. Hunters pay $2,500 per person for a single 2-hour aerial hunt. As for their effectiveness, Helibacon claims that their hunts have resulted in an 80 to 85% decrease in the number of hogs on the areas that they hunt, with each hunter easily able to kill dozens of hogs in one flight. The best part is that Helibacon partners financially with landowners, meaning that they are not only getting these pests removed for free, but are also getting paid for it. So there you have it. Next time you hear about feral hogs, just remember, they cause problems. Now if you'll excuse me, I'll be seeking shelter from the 30 feral hogs that are currently outside of my door. Okay, can we cut the music now? Can we cut?